ancestors as the great overseas.
Ang programang magbibigay daan upang talakayin ang mga isyong may kinalaman sa ating karapatan bilang mga Pinoy sa Britanya. Kwentong nagpapalakas ng loob at bubuhay ng bawat pangarap upang ang tagumpay ay makamtan tungo sa magandang kinabukasan.
Mga balita at kwentong kapupulutan ng aral na magsisilbing gabay para sa ating mga kababayan. Legal na usapin, hihimayin upang lubos na munawaan, tamang gabay maaring mailaan.
Balitang walang kikilingan, bawat isa magkakaroon ng boses sa dapat pakinggan, mga isyong dapat masolusyonan. Mga usaping pilit iniiwasang pag-usapan at harapin, sisikapin naming abutin sa ngalan ng katotohanan, pagkakaisa at kapayapaan.
Mga kwentuhang pakikipagkapwa-tao, pagtutulungan at pagkakaisa bilang mga Pinoy sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Britanya, bayanihan at kumustahang magbibigay inspirasyon sa ating mga kababayan.
Ganda ng buong Britanya ang hatid namin sa inyo. Pasyalang kagigiliwan, kwentong simple, pero kapupulutan ng aral. Biyahe, lakwatsa, at kwentuhan, tiyak mag-e-enjoy kayo.
Iba't ibang kwento ng buhay, nais naming isalaysay na aral ng buhay ang tangi naming inaasam.
Sa bawat larangan, angat kakabayan, talino at galing ng Pinoy, hinangaan at may magpangalaki sa buong Britanya.
Mula sa salaysay ng bawat buhay, kwentong palasyo patungong paraiso, hatid namin ang saya, inspirasyon at galak sa lahat ng Pinoy sa buong Britanya.
Galing ng Pinoy sa mangdako ng mundo, nag-iwan ng marka sa larangan ng industriya.
Mula sa Pinoy, para sa Pinoy, sa Britanya.
Ako si Amy Baliao.
Babo Gamboa.
Carol Panday.
Rafa Rafa.
Susan Pelais Robinson.
Ito ang Britanya ngayon, laban lang! Magandang hapon, Britanya. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Umaga, hapon, gabi sa amang bahagi ng mundo. Samahan niyo kami sa Great October episode ng Britanya ngayon. Sinimulan natin sa mga icons ng nakarang episodes, kaya karugtong nito ang mga great people and groups sa ating community. At makakasama natin ang Filipino-British Association in Plymouth, Devon and Cornwall for their 10th year anniversary celebration.
Good service means great job and great works. Sa biyaheng embahada, sumakay po kayo dahil we have more information na hatid namin sa inyo sa mga serbisyong ginagawa ng POLO OWWA sa London. I interviewed our labor attaché, Amy Reyes, and our welfare officer na si Sheila Aguilar.
Due to insistent public demand, dahil nabitin ang karamihan, ang legacy ni Doc Cito Maramba, ipagpapatuloy natin. At siguro mamaya kumpleto sa panayam natin sa Research Master, Doc Cito. Lahat yan tanong natin pwedeng sagutin, hindi dapat iwasan. Kaya itanong ninyo kay Babo.
Kwento ko laging masaya at nagpapasaya. Full pack ang weekend ko sa Leadership Training Seminar ng POLO OWWA kasabay ng 17th anniversary celebration ng International Mass ng Kilburn, Filchamp Community. Great treat, great talaga.
Siyempre, great na great ka talaga, Rafa. Great October means great revelation. Ang Susan's Vlog nagtungo sa Salisbury. Makasaysayang katedral, sinadya ko upang ipakita sa inyo. At ang mga batong bahagi ng kasaysayan ng Britanya is Stonehenge. Let's watch it.
Ako si Amy Baliao.
Carol Panday.
Rafa Rafa.
Susan Pelais Robinson.
Ito ang Britanya ngayon, laban lang!
O, hinga-hinga muna tayo, ha?
Sandali lang, bagong lahat, Carol. Isa munang shout out, our very own Mayor Sandra Bar
Of Stevenage. Okay, hi, Mayor
Hello,
Sandra
Mayor.
Bar.
Hello,
Thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you for watching and for all your support. Marami pong salamat. My one and only fans. Marie Thomas, bonjour!
Saan ba yan si Marie Thomas na yan?
Oy, si Ate Marie Thomas,
Oh.
isa sa mga family friends, close family friends
okay.
back in the Philippines. Bonjour, Ate Marie!
Bonjour!
Bonjour, Mama Zao.
At syempre mga taga Plymouth, nakatutok sila Marie and Cito Maramba dyan sa Plymouth. Okay.
And Loribel, ha? Loribel!
Ay, Loribel, where are you? Okay.
And Cherry Ann Sapurco, shout out.
Yes, yes. At ang mga taga-Pilipinas na mga kamag-anak natin at hindi natin kamag-anak. No. I'm joking. Mga kapamilya natin dyan.
Ayan,
okay.
oo.
Si-
Oh, hi Loribel. Ayan, ano
Ayan.
si Loribel. Okay, let's roll it, yeah?
Yes.
Let's roll it as we celebrate and witness a celebration of Filipino-British Association in Plymouth, Devon and Cornwall. Their journey of serving the community for the past 10 years. Let's watch this. Conceived with clear purpose and direction, the Filipino-British Association in Plymouth, Devon and Cornwall celebrated a 10th year anniversary last October 17 at Mamma Mia Resto Bar in Plymouth. Their purpose and mission is to share the Filipino culture and tradition in the southwest of England. Bounded by unity and cooperation with the British community, they participated in various events of the local council. The great partnership of Marie Manalo Maramba being the first chairman of the association in 2011 paved way to the success of the group, with Doc Cito Maramba and other officers, former chairman Veron Faro and current chairman Marley Narciso, and the members of the organization.
Well, tonight we're celebrating our 10th year anniversary of the Filipino-British Association in Plymouth, Devon and Cornwall. So we look back at the activities that we have done for the past 10 years, and this includes activities wherein we have close relations and working relationship with the Plymouth City Council, with the Philippine Embassy of the UK, and also the local community wherein we promote our Filipino culture in the community through our dances, through our music, charity works.
Since 2013, the association participated at St. George's Day by showcasing our traditional dances. In 2016, Marie, being the chairman, managed to get fundings from the local council and organized the Festival of Colors, participated and supported by different nationalities that made them truly connected to their adopted city, their home away from home in Plymouth. 2018, the organization was nominated as Community Champion of South England, held in Bristol for their contribution to the community.
They are very welcome in our city. We open our doors and our arms to the Filipino community and welcome them to Plymouth. You must carry on with that work because there's so much more to do. We've nearly got this pandemic under control now, and it's thanks to you giving your commitment to our city.
They give flesh to the role that should be played by every Filipino community in each city, partnering and working closely with the Philippine Embassy in London and conduct consular outreach, making the embassy closer to the people, basic services like passporting and dual citizenship, along with the POLO OWWA, SSS, and Pag-ibig. They were never spared by the pandemic. 2019 was their greatest challenge. The leadership of the newly elected chairman, Marley Narciso, has to adapt to the situations, and this opens the opportunity to invite more Filipinos from Devon and Cornwall.
During my term, I managed to get a lot of Filipino in Cornwall. So not only in Plymouth, we managed to get a lot of members from Devon and Cornwall. I would like to invite all the Filipino in Plymouth, Devon, or Cornwall to please come and join us so that we can be united as a nation.
As they celebrated the success of their 10th year anniversary, they recognized those people who were instrumental in making Plymouth a strong community. Assisted by the mayor herself, Cllr Teri Beer and Sing, another year to remember and hopeful that more years to celebrate. For Britain Today, Carol Panday, Plymouth. Thank you, Plymouth. Okay, ang ganda ng Plymouth pero nandun lang kasi ako sa party eh.
Hindi ka ba naglibot?
Hindi, wala nang time. Di ba at that, si Amy natutulad. Kasi imagine mo, we traveled from Milan, di ba?
Yes.
And then, proceed sa Plymouth, di ba?
Talagang nagro-roll.
Nag-roll talaga
Dami
ako.
mong ni-roll
Grabe.
yun.
Talagang nag-rolling ng
Oo.
bonggang-bongga.
Maraming salamat sa warm welcome ng Plymouth community
And of
at
course, sa mayor nila.
sa Mayor Cllr Teri Beer. Maraming
Very
salamat.
supportive ang mga mayor,
Oo.
ang mayor at ang councilor at ang mga Filipino community.
Yung sinasabi nga, no, talagang they give flesh to the real purpose of the community organization na talagang nagiging sila ng embahada, tulay para ibahagi ang mga serbisyo na konsular sa mga tao doon sa Plymouth.
Kaya naman tamang-tama itong magiging episode ni Amy's Corner dahil
Oo.
ang embahada laging handa para sa mga Filipino communities.
Correct.
Pero
Correct.
bago ang lahat, before we proceed, no, ano ba itong nasa unahan natin? At ang costume ni Rafa, we
Siyempre
like
kalabasa kasi nga, di ba? Halloween tayo.
Halloween tayo ngayon.
Oy, by the way, bukas mayroong malaking gathering sa Kilburn, ha?
Okay.
Pero this time, hindi mga nakakatakot ang costume.
Okay.
They called it Holy Win. Kaya yung attire
Yung
mo,
halo ko.
pwede. Oo.
Hanapin ko muna yung pakpak ko na wala.
Oo. Sige.
Lumipad.
Lagas.
At dahil may halo si Susan, may dahilan yan. Great moments at historical places, the Salisbury Cathedral and the Talk of the Town Stone. Let's watch all of this in Susan's BLaG.
Hello, Britanya Ngayon. Looking for an unusual, interesting activity which gets you out in the fresh air, whatever the weather? Well, today, I will take you to one of the most important places in the country and probably the best city in the UK for a tourist to visit. Please join me.
After the washout summer we have had this year, I am rather looking forward to autumn and winter, so this time reflects the change in seasons. I visited Salisbury, a medieval cathedral city in the southern English county of Wiltshire, southwest of England. Salisbury is also known as Cathedral Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary, the site of Britain's tallest spire with 404 feet tall. The building is regarded as one of the leading examples of early English Gothic architecture. Sa loob ng katedral, dito natin makikita ang famous na Magna Carta, Latin word for Great Charter. It was the first time in the world that the constitutional monarch attempted to set out in writing the rights of individuals in the United Kingdom. It was a symbol of justice, fairness, and human rights, one of the most celebrated documents in English history. In 2009, UNESCO entered Magna Carta into the Memory of the World Register, the list of the world's most important documents. The best preserved copy of the Magna Carta is displayed in the spectacular chapter house within an interactive exhibition. For centuries, it has inspired and encouraged movements for freedom and constitutional government in Britain and around the world. But when it was issued by England's King John in June 1215, it was an attempt to prevent a civil war between the king and his powerful barons. As I walk through its streets, I see the craftsmanship of ages past in the buildings all around. At the famous Cathedral Close, you can visit the Rifles, Berkshire and Wiltshire Museum, Arundel's, the home of former Prime Minister Sir Edward Heath. And of course, the Mompesson House was used as a location for the 1995 film adaptation of Sense and Sensibility. These are all situated in beautiful historic buildings. There are many walks for you to enjoy in and around Salisbury. I strolled along the River Avon, and while in the High Street, I found interesting shops like Rolly's Fudge Pantry, opened by former food journalists and PR Sarah Orton and Stephen Jones. It is a beautiful traditional fudge pantry leading into Salisbury Cathedral via the historic Archway. At syempre, pahuhuli ba ang famous na Stonehenge, the most architecturally sophisticated prehistoric stone circle in the world, 5,000 years ago. In the 17th and 18th centuries, many believe Stonehenge was a Druid temple built by those ancient Celtic pagans as a center for their religious worship. The presence of these remains suggests that Stonehenge could have served as an ancient burial ground as well as a ceremonial complex and temple of the dead. Aba, tamang-tama, tomorrow na ang Halloween. Kaya ihanda na ang mga candles and flowers para ialay sa mga departed loved ones natin. Until then, whether you're counting down the days or just want to get ahead, Britanya Ngayon will have Christmas special for you.
Salisbury is a beautiful cathedral city in the historic county of Wiltshire, home to the likes of Stonehenge and even a rare copy of Magna Carta. It's the kind of place which should not be missed off your British bucket list. Until then, please join me to my next trip. Para sa Britanya Ngayon, Susan Pillais Robinson, Salisbury, Wiltshire, England.
O ano?
O ano, ang ganda ba? Nakita niyo yung Salisbury?
Oo naman.
Salisbury. Sabi ko nga.
Pronounce it.
Pronounce
Sige nga.
Salisbury.
Oh!
Ang galing mo.
Diba?
Ang galing mo talaga.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, shout out to kay Marie Manalo Maramba, Plymouth. I hope you like it, the story
And
that we
Cito
did.
Maramba
And Cito.
also.
Doc Cito mamaya,
Doc Cito.
makakasama namin.
Siyempre,
And Sunny Del Mundo.
Oh,
Hi.
Sunny, magandang
Ate
hapon.
Sunny and Jeremy Pinsa, my high school mate.
Sino
And
pa?
Irene Cristobal,
Oh.
Salad Master.
Yes.
Malapit
Oh,
na siya.
ayan lang yun yung fans mo, si Marito Ma.
Oh, Marita Ma, kumusta ba? Kumusta ba?
Saba-saba,
Saba,
banana
saging.
Q.
Oh.
O, yung mga fans ko sa Pilipinas, Cherry Ann Sapurco, Clark
Oo.
Sapurco, lahat na mga Sapurco.
Oo, sa pool talaga.
At meron tayo isang bagong avid fan dito,
Oh,
si
sino?
FB Alferal. I don't know where you're from, pero we would like to say hello to you and thank you for all your support. And of
Oo.
course, Gina Juson. Nagustuhan ba ninyo ang ating giveaways ng Britanya ngayon?
Yes.
Kaya itong mga Filipino viewers natin,
Oo.
mag-send lang po kayo ng message and then we will get back to you. And of course, papadala
Oo, may
namin kayo
padala.
Yes.
ng
May padalang gabay.
Leonardo, who's that? Leonardo.
Shout out to Leonardo Ridoban.
Leo, yeah. O, hindi ko pa
Shout out.
kala ko,
They
patawagan
you
mo sa inyo.
watching, Lisden.
Lisden.
Okay?
Is then, hi!
And of
Magkapit-bahay
course,
lang tayo.
Tita Eleanor, Templeman. Belated
Ay,
happy
yes!
birthday.
Oo,
Yes.
belated. Okay.
Yan.
O, sige, tuloy-tuloy tayo. Anong
Tuloy-tuloy.
meron tayo
Dahil
dyan?
sa nagbiyahe ako sa Salisbury,
Oo.
meron namang bumiyahe. Pero kung
saan?
saan? Biyaheng Embahada ni
Wow!
Amy.
Bonggang-bongga.
Bongga.
Panayam, panayam sa ating labor attaché, Amy Reyes, and welfare officer Sheila Aguilar. Serbisyong totoo. Great service for Pinoys outside our home country. Take it away, Amy's Corner.
Overseas Workers Office, or POLO as everyone knows it, is the eyes and ears of the Department of Labor and Employment to the world. It is responsible for the administration and enforcement of its policies and programs relevant for the overseas Filipino workers. Currently, there are 34 POLO branches across the globe, of which 7 are in Europe, 3 in the Americas, 13 are located in the Middle East, and 11 are in Asia. In carrying out of its services, POLO engages its works in association with relevant Philippine government agencies, host government, Filipino communities, and NGOs that monitor and aid Filipino overseas workforce. Philippine Overseas Labor Office is managed by a labor attaché, and in the UK, Ireland, and selected European countries, the labor attaché is Amy Reyes, who supervises Labor Corps personnel at post and manages the operations of the Filipino Workers Resource Center, as stated in Republic Act 8042-1995, together with a welfare officer and others. As Labat Amy Reyes explained,
basically kasi yung Philippine Overseas Labor Office, ito talaga yung overseas operating arm of the Department of Labor and Employment. So we have a twin mandate of protection of the rights of Filipino workers and of course promotion of their welfare. So part ng ginagawa namin, na nakita nyo kanina yung mga voluminous documents, yan yung tinatawag na verification of employment related documents. Kasi under our Philippine government rules, kailangan ang isang employer, UK employer for example, intending to hire a Filipino worker, that employer should pass through the accreditation process.
other function of POLO is act as representative abroad of the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration, POEA, to serve as marketing agent of DOLI with the authority to enter into contracts with foreign employers as set in the negotiating rules of the POEA.
Yeah. And then iisa-isahin niya ng evaluator natin, no? Ang evaluators natin si Wayne at saka si Karen. So chine-check namin kung yung provisions ng employment, no? Yung employment standards here in the UK saka employment standards ng Philippines, yung minimum requirements under the PO rules and regulations are factored in, no? In the employment contract. No? So tama ba yung pasweldo niyan? Ilang oras ba yung tatrabahuin niya? Kasama may mga repatriation clauses ba siya, and so on and so forth. Pag okay na siya lahat, yes, so of course, we'll stamp it verified, no, the documents, and then pwede nang isabit sa POA, and then once POA approves it, so ibig sabihin nun, accredited na sila, they can start recruiting. So, ganun din naman yung mga direct hire, no? Pero of course, ang direct hire kasi may limitation din yan. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-hire ng more than 5, no, na Filipino workers kung ikaw ay foreign employer.
Through POLO Office, you can also access the programs of Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, or OWWA. As explained by Sheila Aguilar, our OWWA officer who oversees works and programs in the United Kingdom, Ireland, and selected European countries.
Ang work ng isang welfare officer dito sa POLO OWWA UK ay nahahati siya into 3. So we have first the welfare assistance program. So we address the welfare needs of our overseas Filipino workers na nagtatrabaho dito sa UK, sa Ireland, and sa offsite jurisdictions ho natin. So, lahat ho yan, no? So, even location ng whereabouts, kapag merong request from the family back home, so yung mga, kapag nakaka-encounter sila ng problems dito, with their employer, of course, with in coordination with the labor attaché, no? We do conciliation, we do negotiations with their employer in case they encounter problems with them. And then, all other welfare needs, no, tayo ang nag-a-attend to dyan. And then, we also have the reintegration preparedness program. So, ini-equip natin yung ating mga OFWs ng skills para sila ay tayo, maybe pwedeng sila ay makapagtayo din ng kanilang enterprise later on. But then, basically, ang purpose nun is to enrich themselves, to give them new skills, or to enhance kung ano man yung skills na meron sila. Training programs for them. So, before the pandemic, we have a lot of training programs from baking, from bartending, cosmetology, accessory making. So, samot-sari yan. pati catering, meron. So, iba't iba ho yan na training programs. It is being provided for free para sa ating mga OFWs. Ino-organize ho natin iyan for them. And then we have the, of course, membership promotion program. As you know, OWWA is a membership agency, no? So, we entice, we continue to promote our OWWA to our overseas Filipino workers para tuloy-tuloy ho yung kanilang membership, tuloy-tuloy yung coverage, para always silang may access sa mga social protection programs ng ating Philippine government for them. So, nagko-conduct tayo ng information dissemination, nagbibigay tayo ng institutional briefings para makilala nila kung sino ba si OWWA, ano ang ginagawa ni OWWA para sa kanila, ano yung mga programs and services na po pwede nilang makuha kapalit nung 23 pounds na kanilang binabayaran para sa OWWA membership. Training. So we will start with the leadership training. The title of the training is The Winning Leader. So the speaker is Garrett Morgan. He is a leadership strategist and an author of a book about leadership. So nakita kasi namin na we really have to enhance and to provide skills and broad knowledge to our Filipino workers, especially yung mga merong grupo talaga dito sa United Kingdom. Nakita natin yan during the pandemic, no? So lahat yata limited. Ang daming limitations. But then, yung ating mga Filipino organizations were able to rise above doon sa challenges ng pandemic na ito. And yun yung gusto nating i-enhance, yun yung gusto natin na i-strengthen, no? Kung paano nila mapapatatag, kung paano mapapatatag yung kanilang organization, especially kapag merong mga difficult situations during difficult times.
With POLO OWWA, selfless effort to promote understanding and support between host government and the Philippines, between OFWs and employers with information dissemination concerning Philippine policies and programs on labor and employment.
Of course, salamat sa Britanya Ngayon for having us. And that is also an opportunity for us to inform our kababayan about the kind of work that we do, our services and programs. At sa ating mga kababayan, ang POLO OWWA po ay nandito lang po at lagi niyong kaakibat at kasama po. So, para ho sa mga nais magtanong, lagi namin sinasabi na pinakamadali ho kami na makakausap. You can easily communicate with us through our POLO OWWA London FB page. Sa ating mga kababayan, na mga Filipino workers at sa lahat-lahat po ng mga Pilipino dito, ingat po tayo lagi. At lagi ho namin paalala sa mga workers natin, know your rights, but also honor your responsibilities and also your commitment. At paalala lang po sa lahat, nandito po ang Philippine Embassy, ang POLO OWWA, at magsama-sama po tayong lagi. Iba ho ang bayanihan ng mga Pilipino at lagi tayong mas maraming mararating, mas maraming matutulungan pag tayo po ay nagkakaisa at nagsasama-sama. At maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga Filipino communities and Filipino partners po ng POLO OWWA. Marami ho tayong nagagawa dahil kasama ho namin kayo. God bless us all.
POLO OWWA is an iconic and significant branch of the Philippine government. Why? Because this department is responsible to the millions of Filipino overseas workers' protection and welfare. Official government estimates suggest that there are 2.2 million OFWs scattered across the globe, who contributed vast resource for keeping the Philippine economy through remittances. In 2019 alone, the remittances sent by OFWs reached 30 billion USD. That is equivalent to 19.52 trillion pesos. Around 8% of the Philippine 377 billion USD economy. And truly, the OFWs, indeed, the modern-day heroes of our motherland, bagong bayani ng Pilipinas. For Britain Today, Amy Baliao, London.
With BC Remit, sending money to the Philippines is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Launch the app and click the Sign Up button to get started. Enter your email address, create a secure password, and click Create Account. To ensure that we get your money safely to your beneficiaries, we are going to need a few details. Enter the necessary information, then choose your preferred delivery option. Finally, enter the amount you want to send. Choose your payment method and press send. It's that simple. Secure, fast, convenient. Send money to the Philippines now for as low as $2.99. Send love, the BC Remit Way.
Oh, by the way,
Oo.
andito na talaga tayo
Sandali lang.
lahat.
Oh, Amy, halika dito. Pasok ka nga dito.
Pasok ka na,
Oh.
Amy.
Magandang
Magpa-fashion show si Amy.
Oh,
Kita mo
di ba?
na.
Okay.
But before anything else, no, aside from welcoming Babo back,
Yes.
Welcome back, Babo. We're
Welcome
happy.
back.
Huli man daw at magaling nakakahabol pa din.
Salamat
syempre.
naman.
Oo.
Dahil meron
dahil,
siyang bitbit at yan na yung ang pasabog ni Babo. Pero before anything else, Babo,
Yes.
we would like to shout out muna tayo kay
sige,
Linda
go.
Ramuran Llanes, and Steve. Steve, hello Steve. We're looking forward to our Line trip very soon.
Kailan yan?
Yan.
Bakit hindi
Steve,
kami kasama?
oh, of course. Steve is trying to arrange the trip to Holland.
Hindi, kailan yan? Dapat November yan, ah.
Yeah, via Line, okay? And of course, to Nora Borja from Taguig, and she's watching right now from the Philippines, Taguig. And Tita Marlene Masilungan, thank you very much.
Oh, hi, Tita Marlene.
And to Alberto Cruz Bautista.
Oy, natandaan mo siya?
Oo, sa halo-halo. Kaya nga may halo-halo ako. Thank you, supportado talaga tayo ni Alberto. Siyempre, ang ating mga supporters
Yes.
all over the world.
Yes.
Talagang word, global na.
Global tayo.
Global tayo.
Kasi marami tayong
Naluluma naman ako sa buhok ni
Amy,
oh, di ba?
hindi bagay sa yan.
8 hours yan, ha?
8 hours talaga.
Oo.
Grabe. At syempre, before anything else, also, Carol and
go.
team, meron tayong dapat pasalamatan kung nasaan tayo ngayon.
Of
Di ba, Rafa?
course.
Yes, of course. Ang ating host,
Yan. None other than?
Mary Grace Windmills.
Yan.
And windmill lang. Ikaw naman, naging windmills tayo.
Ano Halloween ngayon, padamihin natin.
Of course, kay
Kalabasa
Mary
mo,
Grace and Paul.
Yes.
At sa mga anak nila si Micah,
Micah,
Melody, and Marcel. Uy, si Micah, siya kasama natin ang ating TikTok sensation, di ba?
Oh,
Grabe,
Actually,
millions.
isa sa mga guest natin yan nung nag-umpisa pa tayo.
Oo,
Sa
una-una.
Yes. Masarap isipin yung mga unang panahon natin, ano?
Tama.
Dahil malapit na matapos ang year 2021, so talaga namang dahil sa inyong mga suporta, andito pa rin kami, Britanya ngayon.
Oo, correct. O ano?
Yan.
At yung mga gustong sumuporta,
Ayan na naman, sponsorship. Oo.
mag-sponsor po kayo.
Oo.
Po. Kailangan po namin
Oo.
para sa ganon,
Oo.
lumago ang Britanya
Oo,
ngayon.
para may pagpatuloy po namin ang aming serbisyo sa
community.
community.
Tama.
And syempre, speaking of community, merong
Knock, knock.
kagalang-galang na guest, si Babo, ano?
Uy, grabe.
O, bati mo na si Babo. Babo, bati sa mga fans mo.
Sa lahat ng mga fans mo. Labo.
O, doon ang camera mo, ha?
Yeah. Okay, so sa lahat sa ating mga taga-subaybay
Yes.
ng Britanya ngayon, welcome and hi to everyone. It's good to know, maybe to have all of us together in one segment.
Oo.
Parang nangangampanya yata si Babo eh. Parang senador.
Senador ba?
I was about to say that. Parang kaya po nahuli, itong totoo, kaya po nahuli si Babo,
Nangampanya.
Nangampanya siya. Nangampanya.
Sa
Sino
kanino?
iboboto, no?
Oo.
All right.
Secret daw. Secret.
Secret muna.
O, sige,
Okay.
ano, tawagin na
Wala pa.
natin yung panauhing pandangal ni Babo.
Ni Babo.
Yan, ito.
Handa na ba?
Are we ready for...
Yan.
Yan.
Hello, Doc Cito. Yan.
Hello, good afternoon.
Oh, sir.
How are you?
Can we get a... Hello?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah. We can hear you now, sir.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
So magandang hapon din. Kumpleto ang ano ngayon, ang team ngayon dahil excited.
Special day, di ba?
Excited po. And having received the feedback from your previous interview, sir, due to public demand, second time.
Yes,
Ito,
very
parang encore. Another performance ito, sir.
Well,
But
it's great
mind you,
to be
sir,
back.
in spite of this, we are very happy that you are with us. You gave us the time. And not only that, we'll be talking about the things that where we left off. Where we left
That'd be
off.
great. Yes.
Yeah, because I know we've already discussed about your background.
Yes.
Being a doctor, a UP, and all this, and the training, and having shared, or maybe your experience and your work now in Great Britain.
Yes.
And of course, at the same time, your parents is also in public as public servants.
Yes.
They were in shall we say, in high places.
Yes. That's
In
right.
government, especially in government. Both parents, by the way, and the siblings are all professionals in their own right.
Correct.
Okay, so shooting off, sir, from there.
Yes.
I know we have been discussing about the digitalization,
That's right.
and when you left off, you're telling us that NHS, we have a system whereby we have everything online.
Yes.
Including the diagnosis, perhaps prescription, and all this.
Oh, yes.
How do you, maybe in more detail, sir, how do you be able to describe to us, or maybe give us an idea on how this thing works?
Okay. Well, the NHS, the National Health Service of England, just a few years ago, put out what they call the NHS long-term plan. And one of the chief components of that long-term plan was the pushing of digital health. Actually, the wording in the plan itself is that digital first. So they would
digital
like,
First.
yes, they would like the first point of contact of the people in England with the health system to be in a digital format, whether it be through your phone, through your PC, or the internet. The reason of this being is that by doing it digitally first, you get connected to all the information resources that are available, that are made available and made possible by this thing that we call the internet. Okay, so what they're pushing is that for people to have things like apps on their phone so that they can monitor their health. If they have a specific chronic disease like maybe diabetes or high blood pressure, that there are specific applications on the form or websites that they access that will give them timely, up-to-date, and accurate information about how they can stay healthy and keep well and in monitoring and treating their disease. And as you mentioned, even in diagnosis and treatment, this can help. I myself, for example, I have high blood pressure. I have an app that reminds me to take my blood pressure medication every day, and I'm able to record
Yes.
how much I'm taking, and it also records how much medication I have left, so I know when to order a repeat prescription. And even the ordering of repeat prescription, whereas before you had to go into the surgery or call, now I just do it by my NHS app.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it
So-
sends it sends
Yes,
it to
so
the
in all this, so having said in all this, sir, in all the method, that's very useful. You know, digital that's the in thing now. Digitalization, the in thing. If you have to go by records, papers, and all this,
Yes.
that's too antiquated. No more.
Yes.
And besides, we don't
And
have the
too time
personnel anymore to do
consuming.
this.
Yeah.
So where do you come in all this? What do you specialize in all this?
Okay.
Give me, because you're a doctor by training, by profession. Where do you come in all these things?
Okay.
Where
I trained
perhaps?
as a doctor, as I said before. I trained as a doctor in UP, and then UP sent me to take a master's in health information science at the University of Warwick. So there I learned how to integrate medical knowledge with information technology and computer science. Okay. So I brought the perspective of a medical practitioner into how we can efficiently employ information technology to help healthcare practitioners do their work. But at the same time, we realized that the patients, the consumers, also have to participate digitally, and that this also empowers them to take control of their own well-being and their own health.
Yeah. So perhaps, sir, before I pass on to my colleagues as well on the questions they'd like to also to shoot on you. Ito naman, sir, you've already said about your MIS background at the same time, doctor, and that is something. That's something big. If you come to think of it. Great. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's great. How would you be able, sir, to contribute? Philippine setting. Let's go not to Philippines because we know you are in the UK. You are British, perhaps by now. But what I'm really concerned is how would you be able to put all these things that you have gained through the knowledge and experience in Great Britain back to the Philippines? How would you be able to contribute in your own special way?
Well, I'm Filipino-British. I'm dual citizen. So,
Okay.
But even before I went here, I was already working on health informatics projects in the Philippines as part of the National Institute of Health, Telehealth Institute of UP Manila. I was a director of that from 2004 to 2006. And we were trying to implement a way in the Philippines that people in remote areas could still get their cases consulted with by specialists in other more developed areas, like, for example, Manila. And we call that Buddy Works. Now, with this week, I hope to bring the expertise and the knowledge that I've gained in my time here in the UK back to the Philippines and adapt it to the setting there. So you know that there's a very big proportion now of Filipinos who are connected in some way to the internet. They say that the Philippines is the one that Filipinos are the ones who spend the most time on social media and on texting. We have this thing like social media capital of the world, texting capital of the world. We can make use of this to spread knowledge and information about health and well-being among our countrymen, because they're very well connected digitally. The penetration of mobile devices is quite great, so we can harness this to spread correct information about health and well-being among the Filipinos.
Okay, so there you are, team. You might like to follow up on that very good progression.
Yeah, digital era na tayo, kaya talagang tamang-tama.
Yeah, so maybe we'd like to ask
which
any
is
questions.
good. I welcome those the digital technology or the enhancement of how to serve the medical requirement ng mga citizens dito. But my concern, Doc, is how about the early generations, yung mga matatanda, because obviously.
Ouch.
Hindi, I'm being practical in here because obviously they are not tech savvy.
Yeah, tech savvy.
Yes.
So how would we, of course, kasi sila yung nangangailangan, as you mentioning earlier, na it prompts you to take your medicines, it prompts you to take your blood pressures, it prompts you probably to, if you're diabetic, you need to do your injections and everything, which is, I think that's very, very good. Kasi sometimes kung makakalimutin ka, you have that cling. You're gonna
my text.
But then again, some of our the earlier generation, hindi sila tech savvy. So how would we address that? Relating to their needs.
One lesson that we learned here in the UK is that to help the generation that's not tech savvy, we rely on what we call the building of intergenerational relations. In other words, we try to connect the generation that is not tech savvy to the generation that is. So things like being able to do video calls through mobile phones. I mean, mobile phones have now become quite easy to use.
Yes.
And things like voice-activated interfaces. Alexa and Google
Siri,
Cortana, and Microsoft. So these enable you to control things and to what you call this interface or interact with the information on the internet just by using their voice. So, just by asking not questions in what we call natural language. And this would enable the older generation that's not used to using mice and keyboards and sometimes not even touchscreens, but because they're used to talking,
Yes.
they can now access all this digital information. So we
Okay.
know that it's not perfect. We know
Yeah.
that Alexa sometimes doesn't know how to scratch your back.
Yes, yes. So,
But,
in layman's
we're
term,
working on it. Yeah.
yes. So in layman's term, Doc, parang, correct me if I'm wrong, ang naintindihan ko dyan is, you're going to set up Alexa sa voice ng, let's say, voice ng mama ko, tapos si Alexa ngayon magprompt sa mama ko, oh, it's 1 o'clock now, Mrs. Olivares,
Exactly.
it's time for your medication. Yung ganun po ba? Okay.
So wonderful. Doc Cito, natutuwa naman ang mga taga Queen's Hospital. They're watching Bluebell A Respiratory Ward, and to all the Lourdes family in Angeles, Pampanga.
They're watching us.
They're watching us. O, back to you, Babo. Ano nang sinasabi ni Doc Cito?
Doc, yun na nga, yung isang concern natin dito is really the Philippine setting.
Yes.
Because you know how backward we are in terms of medical technology and all the things that we've been discussing. I don't know if whether we're really prepared for all this. That's actually the issue. Alam mo yung the hospitals in the Philippines, they're still engaged in what you call record basis. Paper
record,
basis. Was this prognosis and diagnosis, what have you? When can we perhaps make? Where do you want to come in terms of how do we slowly implement this program? Everything else in the world are already doing this, except Philippines.
Well, I have to give credit to the academe and the Philippine government since I left, because I know that there have been various legislations. There's a Data Protection and Privacy Act that was passed in the Philippines that will enable proper protection of medical records. I know that PhilHealth has been trying to to move to electronic in terms of its records. I have colleagues from my times working in medical informatics in the Philippines who are working on this. So people like Dr. Alvin Marcelo, people like Dr. Iris Isiptan, they've all been working hard in the Philippines to try to bring them into the 21st century in terms of medical informatics. So there are people that I can work with when I go back to help in assisting this.
Okay, but
government programs also. Before I left, I was in the Bodyworks program, which was trying to do exactly this: bring these financing these information technology resources to be made available in remote areas. And the National Telehealth Center of UP Manila is still there, is still working on this. So support for this would be necessary to bring the Philippines into the 21st century of health informatics.
But of course, Doc, having said all this, the bottom line really is budget.
Exactly.
Ayan na.
You think how much, in terms of budget, are we prepared as well? The Philippine government?
In terms of budget, my thing is that what is your priority?
Yes.
The budget will always be there, whether it's small or not. But what will you prioritize on? And it's always been my feeling that the number one priority, or well, not number one, but one of the biggest priorities should be the health of Filipino citizens. Health, education, welfare. Sa akin, yun ang dapat number one na bigyan na prioridad.
Tama po yun. Tama po yun.
The start of a dignity, so to speak. Dignity ng isang tao eh.
Siyempre, health is wealth.
The concern about health begins from the moment that you are born. So that has to be safeguarded.
Yes. And we should have the same system, the NHS, Philippine NHS din. Ano po ba?
Yes, I mean the PhilHealth is working towards that. I mean, NHS is the UK is quite one of the few in the world that have what they call a single payer healthcare system. In other words, the government is the number one chief payer for healthcare, and it's funded by our national insurance here in the
Yes.
UK.
Yeah.
PhilHealth is working towards something like that, and I know that various workshops and seminars have been done in the Philippines to try to learn the lessons of the national insurance and national health service so that they can be applied to PhilHealth in the Philippines. That was done during the term of Secretary of Health Manolet Tairit.
Okay.
Doc, I'm just trying to be a bit cheeky here, but let's say, can we be able to adopt NHS in the Philippines?
It's political will.
Medyo
Is there a possibility?
yung question mo dahil malapit na ang eleksyon, kaya sigurado magkakaroon ng
Hindi, kasi very ideal in terms of
the nearest thing that we have to the end, at least to the financing part, is the NHS and then our government health system. Our government hospitals. I know that it has been devolved because that was during the time of Secretary Alran Bengson, which my father served under. It has been devolved and sort of like the more to the local areas. But if we can unite that with an information system, so tie up the government health system with PhilHealth, so then that is a step forward in emulating the kind of system that we have here.
Correct.
In the NHS.
Tama po yun. Kasi it is, as you said, the priority and its necessity. So therefore, it has to be done, or not must be done.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yan, tanda mo yan, ha?
Alam mo, Babo, Doc Cito, ano ko lang kasi, I mean, we are always trying to say that it should be done in the Philippines and it should be practiced and implement. However, ang napapansin ko lang, because of this digital age, when we travel, sana ang mga Pinoy less complain. When we travel, we yung inaano natin yung digital locator. And that's part of the system that the NHS and the government of the UK is. But we are always complaining. So I'm just thinking, in the Philippines, when you do the online thing, sometimes we're not yet ready for that. Akin kasi yung ready na sa mga tao to embrace that digital thing to happen to us. Samantalang mga computer savvy naman tayo, di ba?
Pero, like I was saying the last time, mahilig tayo mag-text, mahilig tayo mag-post sa social media.
TikTok.
Alam mo,
marunong mag-TikTok si Lola di ba?
Yung mga skills na yan na ginagamit for those things, they're exactly the same skills.
The same, okay,
use
exactly.
a digital health application.
Correct.
To make your consultation online or to order a prescription, exactly the same skills that you will use in posting in social media, those are what you use to use those apps. That's why I know we can do it. I know we can do it.
That's good.
Kaya nga, si Mamamita Dueñas nanonood dahil importante para sa kanya to, no?
Tita Adele.
Tita Adele, yes. Good afternoon or kung saan ka man.
Nasa Canada siya. Okay.
Yes, Mamin Dueñas.
Mamin Dueñas. Mamamin Dueñas.
Mamamin.
Kala ko Mamamia eh.
Magandang hapon, Mamin
Dueñas. Mga viewers na mga nandun sa age ng digital at mga yung nawawala sa digital era, nanonood din po sila. Kaya importante mapakinggan natin ang panayam natin kay Doc Cito.
I-share pa natin to. Babo,
very interesting
Actually,
topic.
yeah, of course. This is quite a bit of a serious topic.
Yes.
Let's go light.
Light now.
Light moment na tayo. Because, Doc Cito, we know him. I've met him on several occasions only, actually, to be honest. And I've read your article. I've read about you. Very impressive.
Yes.
But on one hand, I'm also thinking, ano ba yung buhay ng isang Cito Miranda?
Grabe naman.
Medyo magkama yan,
you have
okay.
1.4 minute.
I know you are a very genius and very bookish personality in the outset. But how is it inside? Who is Cito?
Inside, I mean, aside from my work, I enjoy things like musicals, Broadway and West End. I enjoy being with my family. Of course, my wife is the more known than me, Marie Manala Maramba. So I usually hide behind her
I think your daughter as well, Doc. She's one of the musical Broadway musical play.
Both my daughters are into theater.
I think both of them.
Yes, my oldest is right now with the Lab Company in Theatre Royal Plymouth, so she's training with them. And my youngest daughter, Angel, who just turned 18 yesterday, or the other day.
Happy birthday!
She just performed in a play attended in Plymouth called When This Is Over, and it was attended by the Lord Mayor of Plymouth.
Congratulations, Angel! Ang ganda ng compilation, ano? Academic at arts.
So
Saan nagmana? Saan nagmana?
From their mother.
Ayan.
I have 2 left feet, unfortunately, but they're great dancers because they inherited it from their mother.
Okay. Anyway, Doc, hanggang dito na lang talaga tayo. We don't have, I wish we still have enough time to discuss more about Cito Maramba in persona.
Yeah, I think we're going to feature soon your story.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's a good one for Cito.
Yes,
Dahil si Doc ang ating guest, gusto rin naming i-shout out ang isa sa mga proud ng Pinoy, UK Pinoy, si Doktora Julia Roble Fortu.
Oh, yan. Hi.
Naman ang natin, ang mga,
Hi, Doc Julia.
ang mga viewers natin. Halo, no? May matalino, medyo metalino, at matatalino.
May pasaway. May pasaway.
Siyempre, yung host natin, meron siyang gustong ipa-shout out, to Kenneth and Renalyn Garcia family, and also to Kylie Lures. Thank you very
from
much
Angeles.
for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Shout out pala kay Charles Centeno nanonood ngayon. Charles Centeno of Sara for President Movement is one of the advertisement na Sara for President Movement. Charles Centeno, yun. So, binigay ko na.
Siya nagka-campaign, so hindi naman tayo.
Hindi naman tayo.
Shout out.
Sito, baka may gustong i-shout out bago magpaalam sa kanya.
I'd just like to shout out to, of course, to my parents, Dr. Tomas and Dr. Anelia, my sister, Dr. Cecilia.
Oh, si Cecil.
Yes, yeah, who just got awarded for her 25 years of service.
Congratulations!
Sana mag-guest namin si Cecil next time. Okay. So until then, Babu?
Okay, so that's it. Doc, thank you very much again for giving us this opportunity.
Yeah.
This is what I would consider chance in a lifetime.
Great
opportunity.
Great Cito talaga. Okay, thank you, Cito.
Thank you. Bye, Cito.
Thank you,
Doc. Bye-bye, family. Bye-bye.
So bago natin ibigay ang mga kwento ni Rafa Rafa, pag-usapan muna natin yung pa-contest ng DOT.
Ano nga ba yun?
Ang una, singing contest.
Okay,
sino mga kasali? Jules, yung ang mga kasali, mga nagtatrabaho sa healthcare industry. O sino yung mga yon?
Parang gusto ko sumali. Kaya baka mag-qualify.
Nurses,
HCA,
iba na nagtatrabaho sa nursing home, care home. Ayan po di ba? Ang ganda ng model natin.
So ano bang mechanics itong pa-contest ng DOT?
Ang alam ko, diyan naman nakapost sa Britanya page and sa Philippine Department of Tourism Facebook page. So kakanta kayo in any pwedeng karaoke, i-record nyo, then you send it there. Ang deadline po is, I think it's
Sunday. 26.
No, Friday.
No, that's Friday.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Closing date. Nakalagay dun sa
Hindi, kinlaro natin yan sa mga pamunuan nila. So, let's have it on, is it Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday, 26.
26. Pero iklaro po na it could be kasi ang Sunday is 28. But anyway, so yun po. At ang premyo, Babu, sumali ka. Trip to the Philippines for 2. At mga sa mga probinsya at kasama pati yung airfare na domestic tsaka hotel accommodation.
Sagot lahat yun.
Of course.
Mukhang mapapakanta ako na ako ang nagwagi.
Tingnan natin.
Ay, sayang.
Alam mo, magkalaba kayo ni Susan dyan. At umaarangkada si Babu. Yung next advert naman, ito, yung kahit nasa bahay ka lang. So yung mga dream, lugar mo sa Philippines na gusto mong i-visit, magde-decorate ka sa isang corner mo. And then magpipicture ka, i-send mo rin uli. At ang deadline niyan, Jules, yung advert nila. Yan. kung i-enlarge natin, take a photo,
Decorate.
mag-decorate kayo. Halimbawa, gusto mo sa Boracay, feeling mo naka-bathing suit ka. Take a photo of yourself and then, i-upload ninyo at ang deadline yan kailan?
Sunday,
Same ang price. Ayan, na Sunday, November 14. Aba.
2021.
Malapit
habol na ha.
Hahabol na.
Ang winner, ganun din.
Ano kan props natin pwede, no?
Hindi, kung ano gusto mong bisitahin, bawa, gusto mo Siargao, di mag-ano ko
Boracay.
magplanggana ka.
Wow.
Sige.
Gusto ko bisitahin ang bahay ko.
Alright.
Bongga.
So, saan natin papadala? Di
Ay,
ba meron
nakalagay
silang
doon sa
website?
link. Oo,
Okay.
may nakalagay doon sa
May
link.
nakalagay na
Tapos,
link dyan.
I think that you have to scan that QR code. Yan. Yan na yung bagong digital ngayon, di ba? Pag sinasign mo yan, ayan. Ang ganda ng model, Hi to Ma'am Isobel Ortega.
So, Karon, ang mangyayari, itong advert na to, ilalagay natin sa Britanya Ngayon,
sa Britanya Ngayon
FB page.
Or you can share it as well to your
share it to
timeline
your-
from Facebook, so your friends can see it as well.
Yes, that's right. Kung gusto ninyo, puntahan po ninyo ang Britanya Ngayon FB page at ilalagay namin itong
mga
code na to,
information na yan. Okay?
And we wish you all the very best. Sana may nanalo na.
Oo, may panalo
May
na.
panalo na.
Habol ka, Babo?
Hi,
Siyempre maraming sasali yan.
Mag-say hi tayo pala kay Sir Jerry Panga.
Sir Jerry Panga, maraming salamat po sa suporta at ang World Travel Market.
Exactly.
Arangkada, si Susan at
Yan.
Hi, by the way, darating, Secretary Ben Romulo.
Oo.
A very classmate and a good friend.
Wow, close pala talaga sila. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Jero Lures. Thank you very much. Ang mga Lures family, panayang shout out nila at nanonood. Salamat po sa suporta ninyo.
Okay. Hindi pa uhuli. Siyempre, marami siyang ikukwento sa atin. Marami siyang, 2 linggo siya sa London at nangarap ng mga balita. Ladies and gents, let's welcome mga kwento ni Rafa Rafa.
Wow.
Kilburn, London. Sa mga kwento ko, tiyak may matututunan kayo at lalalim ang inyong pananampalataya. Kaya heto na. Sa pangunguna ng POLO OWWA sa London, kasama ang Labor Attaché Amy Reyes at Welfare Officer Sheila Aguilar, isagawa ang Leadership Training Seminar na may titulong The Winning Leader at guest speaker si Gareth Morgan. Isa sa mga tugong programa ng POLO OWWA para sa mga leaders ng Filipino community sa United Kingdom. Maganda ang naging resulta dahil maraming organisasyon ang nakiisa upang madagdagan ang kanilang kaalaman bilang mga aktibong leader ng komunidad. Masigla ang naging talakayan dahil nagkaroon ng pagkakataon ang mga dumalo na magbahagi ng kanilang karanasan at ang mga iniwang aral ni Gareth sa karamihan ay magagamit at magiging gabay upang lalong maging maayos ang pamumuno ng mga leaders para sa kanilang grupo. Asa hindi kalayo ang lugar sa Immaculate Heart of Mary Church, pinagdiwang ng Kilburn Filchamp Community ang kanilang 17th year anniversary. Bilang faith community, sinimula ng selebrasyon sa isang misang pasasalamat na pinangunahan ni Father Silvio Porfido kasama ang 5 pang pari na kabilang dito si Father Patrick at ang parish priest ng Sacred Heart Church na si Cllr Teri Beer. Suportado ng Embahada ng Pilipinas sa London ang selebrasyon. Ikinatuwa ni Ambassador Antonio Lagdameo ang pagkakaroon ng mga komunidad na pinagyayaman ang pananampalataya ng mga Pinoy nasa labas man sila ng bansa. Isang simpleng selebrasyon pero ang pagdiriwang laging may kasamang salo-salo. Dahil sa pandemic, walang naging pagdiriwang na naganap noong nakaraang taon, kaya naman excited ang lahat upang magkita-kita at magsaya. Bawat grupo may inhandang presentasyon at kabilang dito ang pagkanta ng theme song ng Kilburn Filchamp. At may mensahe ang presidente ng grupo.
Sa 17 years na po ang Filchamp and palagay ko po in my side, ito pong community, itong samahan na to has been made sa panahong ito. Kasi sa marami pong mga pagsubok, mga na dumadaan, lalo-lalo po sa kinakaharap nating pandemic. Hey, andito po pa rin po tayo. Hindi man lang po natinag ng ating community, although nalagasan po tayo ng mga kasama, ating mga mahal sa buhay sa Pilipinas, andito pa rin po. At isa lang po ang ating naging rason dyan. Isa kasi kumakapit lang po tayo sa isang tao, sa isang Panginoon na laging nakaantabay para sa atin. So, mga kapatid, marami po salamat sa inyong pagtaguyod sa ating community, and hang on po tayo, kapit lang po tayo sa Panginoon.
Hindi dito nagtapos ang selebrasyon dahil sumunod na linggo, October 24, ginanap ang International Mass na nilhokan ng mga representante ng iba't ibang bansa, kabilang ang mga kabataan na nanguna sa community prayers sa iba't ibang wika, na suot ang kanilang traditional costumes. Patunay lamang ito na ang komunidad na sama-samang nananalangin at nagkakaisa, kaya anumang pagsubok na danasin, kayang malampasan sa pamamagitan ng pagtitiwala sa Diyos, lalo na sa oras ng pandemya. Sa mga kwento ko, laging kayo ang bida. Para sa Britanya Ngayon, Rafa Rafa, London.
Ayan, maraming salamat. Mga kwento ni
Rafa Rafa. Ay, maraming salamat po pala sa Filchamp Kilburn community at sa kay Mr. Joey Santo
Sildes, ang kanilang chairman. Siyempre, Tita Nidat Panambo.
Yes.
Maraming salamat. Oh, ano pang papasalamatan?
Ang dami mong ronda-ronda, Rafa.
Oo.
At syempre, doon sa kay Mr. Garrett Morgan, doon sa specialist ng yung sa training ng POLO OWWA. Tsaka kay Labor Ata, si Amy Reyes at Welfare Officer Sheila Aguilar. Maraming salamat po.
Oh, shout out J-Roll Lures ng Angeles. Thank you for watching. Maron Cortez ng Bath. At batiin mo naman si pare.
Si Alex Marco. Thank you for watching. Please support us all the time, not only today.
Okay. Ano pa? Babo, ano?
Yan, si ano?
Teka muna, bakit ba nahuli si Babo?
Oo nga, itanong kay Babo.
Ba't nga ba nahuli?
Naitriga ako. Ano may dala mo? Ano may bibig mo?
Yaman na natin aminin, pero may pasalubong ako sa inyo lahat. Yan ang dahilan.
You're forgiven.
Okay lang pala na malit ka pa kasi may pasalubong pala eh.
Mainit pa, okay.
Yung pala yung pasabog niya, pasalubong.
Oo naman.
O sige, salamat, BC Remit, Kla, and Bong. Thank you for supporting.
Kabayan ni Remit, Annalisa Roberts.
And Steve.
At Milagrosa.
And of course, our host, Mary Grace Windmill and
Paul.
Her loving husband, Paul, and the children.
And yung mga friends ng Britanya, maraming salamat.
Oo naman.
Dumadami
ng friends ng Britanya ngayon. Kasi magpapasko na. Marami nang namamasko.
At marami pang darating.
Talaga.
Ito sabi ni Jero Lores, hello to all out there. Pa-shout out po sa Britanya ngayon, especially Carol Panday.
Thank you,
right
Carol.
watching here ang family Lores from the Philippines, Angeles City, Pampanga. Pa-shout out sa lahat ng Windmill family, my sister Mary Grace. And to all the staff of Bluebell Respiratory Ward of Queen Hospital. Thank you. Shout out to all of you.
My classmate in high school, Arnold Miranda. Thank you for watching.
Siyempre, mga graduates of Makati High School, year 79, batch 79, thank you so much.
Grabe, high school na 79? Grabe!
Sorry,
Sabi ko lang yung grade mo, Tita Susan.
Parang high school na yun,
may pasabog tayo dahil malaking
5 years old ako, high school ka na.
Oo, syempre, no?
Kapapanganak lang ni Papa eh.
Hindi ko naman kinahihiya yung age ko.
Hindi naman
Wala sa...
Parang si Edlac Samana, tawa lang ng tawa.
Thank you, Ed, our technical director. And of course, magbabalik sa atin para makasama natin, direct, Lori Bell.
Jan Lures, thank you.
Okay.
At syempre, babatiin kong aking mama.
Ay, oo!
Dahil birthday niya ngayon, Mama, happy birthday to you.
O sige, pabati na ng pamangkin ko. Hi, Nika. Nag-birthday last October 25.
October 25. Yung pamangkin ko, si Eki Pilaes, October 24.
O, di ba? Mga Octoberian pala tayo.
Marami yan. At sa November, marami rin magbe-birthday.
Marami.
Birthday at gastusan.
Oo, sige.
Gastusan?
Gastusan.
Ayun. Ayun, hindi ko alam.
O, sige.
Mama Mingüeñas, Merry Christmas. Ang aga mong bumate. Thank you.
Lagot ka, papadala mo yan. Okay. Isa na namang episode ng Britanya ngayon ang naihandog namin sa inyo. Great leaders means good project for the community. To FBIPDC, congratulations and many more anniversaries to celebrate. Ako, si Carol Panday.
Sa lahat ng bumubuo ng POLO OWWA London, isang karangalan na nakakwentuhan namin kayo upang mapalaganap sa sambayan ng Pilipino ang serbisyong handog ninyo. Ako po si Amy Baliao.
Great moments indeed with Doc Cito Maramba. Your contribution and legacy to the research industry is something that all of us are inspired to do great things for the world. Babo Gamboa.
Diyan lang kayo dahil sa mga pagbisita ko sa mga lugar ninyo, kwento ninyo, papalaganapin ko. Kilburn, Filchamp, congratulations at POLO OWWA, maraming salamat po. Ako si Rafa Rafa.
Diyan lang kayo, huwag kayong lilipat. Great history makes it Great Britain. Kaya ang Britanya ngayon, patuloy na makikipaglakbay sa inyo at sa vlog ko. Follow me and we'll bring you to more great places and memorable experiences. Ako si Susan Pilaes Robinson.
Ito ang Britanya ngayon, laban lang!
Thank